Hello and welcome. My name's Steve Beckles-Abussier, the speaker with the orange tie. And guys, welcome to the Orange Room. Guys, I hope you're well. Those that don't know anything about me, I'm a motivational speaker. I go to schools, colleges and universities and companies around the UK, Europe and in the States. I talk about belief systems. I'm a big believer in belief systems because I believe that your beliefs determine what you gain in life. You've got to excuse me because I'm slightly out of breath because I've just come back from the park with my daughter and it's been amazing. So hot out there, unbelievable. I needed to say that. Anyway, today, what's today all about? Look, I've been delivering these for, I don't know how long, but I've been having an amazing time delivering tips and techniques around the brain, around the way we think, communication skills, setting goals. I've done loads of stuff and I love it. I've got a passion for doing it. So really the question is, what is this session all about? Now, if you'd have seen my little strap thing around the bottom of my video, you would have seen the words. Facing your fears can be a challenge, but it's up to you to decide. I do not know why I'm getting so dramatical about all of this, but anyway, I enjoy doing it. So what I decided to do was take the word decide to talk about our fears. And I might actually do 2 videos of this because fears is a massive topic and I don't think I'm going to get it all in. But anyway, I'm going to cover 6 tips and techniques to overcome the fears that we have. Now, we have many fears, and not even including the way this lockdown situation, even before that, we had internal fears. So what I want to do is give you some tips, techniques, some ideas that you can try that I believe will make a difference. First of all, let's start with the word fear. As you know, I'm a motivational speaker. When I'm on stage, I'm often saying that fear represents false evidence appearing real. You forgot that there. False evidence. How many times have you been scared of something? And then when you do it, you go, what is that here? Because what happens is the actual fear itself is more kind of scary than the actual thing you're doing. Now, I do a lot of reading and a lot of listening to audios as well. There's a guy called Les Brown. Guys, if you don't know about Les Brown, just Google that man on YouTube. Man's amazing, yeah? In fact, I think I'm in touch with his son. We're connected on Facebook. He's just an amazing man. So Les Brown tells a story about a man that when he comes out of his house to go to work, when the dog sees him, there's a dog down the corner of his road, sees him, goes, and it runs after him. And this man runs as fast as he can to get to the bus stop, and he gets there just in time to avoid the dog from biting him. Now this happens, second day, dog comes running, runs after him, runs down as quickly as he can to get to the bus stop, just gets out of the way before the dog gets to him. On the third time, same thing happens, dog comes running, he runs down and he gets and keeps out of the way just in time before the dog gets him. On the 4th time, the man gets up in the morning and says, you know what, I've had enough. I am not running from this dog anymore. So what happens, the man comes out of his house, opens his gate, sees the dog, hears the dog going, The man looks at the dog and says, come on then, bring it on. And what happens, he gets ready for this dog. The dog runs towards him, starts barking and realizes that the dog has no teeth. He just chases the dog away. But that story is very important, isn't it? Because that dog represents our own fear. And what we don't realize is that often there's no teeth. The dog has no teeth. The fear has no teeth. It's you that gives the dog the teeth. I want you to think about the fears we do have because they are holding us back. So let's go into this. Now, you know, I always have a prop, yeah? And here's my microphone that I have. Now, I often use this when I'm doing my DJing stuff, but this time I use it as a prop because I read somewhere there's a greater fear of public speaking, yeah? People would prefer to pay their taxes or die than actually speak in public because of the fear. So that's one of the reasons I had the microphone. So I'm not going to perhaps talk too much about presentation skills and speaking on the mic, but what I will be talking about is some techniques to help you to overcome those things that are in your head that are causing you and holding you back. Now, let's start from the beginning. When a baby's born, it only has 2 fears. Do you know what they are? Well, let me tell you what they are. There's the fear of being dropped or the fear of loud noises. They are the only fears a baby has when it's born. I want you to just understand what I've just told you there. Only 2 fears. So the question I must ask you is, where are all your fears coming from? Now, we all know, don't we? Formative years between 0 and 7. Yeah? This is where we learn about our beliefs, our faiths, what's right, what's wrong, from 0 to 7. My daughter's 7 at the moment, and I can hear her belief systems kicking in from 0 to 7. So you will learn about things perhaps you're scared of, you're frightened of in that period of time. Now, over that time, of course, you're still going to learn about fears. But guys, think about it. No other fears apart from being dropped or loud noises. So just that in mind, where your fears coming from. So let's work on decide, remember? And I'm going to take each letter and give you some techniques to help you along the way. Let's get going. So first of all, guys, is D, right? For that's part of the decide. Determine what you want to achieve. That's really important in overcoming your fear. The point I'm making, if you can determine what you want to achieve and make it big enough, your fear, I'm not going to say will totally go, but will begin to diminish. Why? Because you've got a bigger why than your actual fear. This is really important, because it's not until you actually say to yourself, I want to achieve this, because when I do, I will get this. When you can compare it to the fear then reduces. I read somewhere, when fear enters the frame, logic leaves. Let me say that again. When fear enters the frame, logic leaves. It's true, isn't it? When you're scared, there is no logic with what you do. What I want you to start doing is now determining what do you want to achieve. So think about something you're scared of doing and think of the reason why you're doing it. And I'll guarantee there's a good reason why you're doing it, yeah? You need to make it bigger and bigger and bigger, so your fear then becomes smaller. Does that make sense? Work on it. This is so important, okay? Next one is E. Exactly what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? And I can bet. Now, let's just get this right now. Walking across the M25 is not a good idea because you're going to get killed. Now, that's a natural fear. But the fear of what somebody might say, the fear of success, I think that's where most of our fears come from here. True? Think very carefully now. Now, listen, let's just face it. You will do things that people won't like. Now, I do these every week, and I'm sure there are some people thinking that orange geezer gets on my nerves, right pain in the backside. I hope there's not too many people thinking like that. But it's true, isn't it? There are going to be some people that don't like this, so they won't listen to it, or they'll complain about it. That's just life, all right? So don't get hung up over people not being happy about what you're doing. So this is really important, not to be afraid of anything, as I said, which is here. Just do it because it's important. And if you make that D big enough, the fear won't stand a chance, okay? Let's move on to the next one. Come to terms with your excuses. This is really important because I know you dig up the same lame old excuse, yeah, for not doing what you know you need to do. You do. I know you do, because I do. The same lame. And so what I do is I write down what my excuse is and I look at it practically and logically. I'm coaching, just started coaching with a guy only recently. He's into health and fitness, and he says one of his biggest problems is he doesn't like running, going jogging when the weather's bad. Obviously it's good at the moment, but when the weather's bad, he hated it. So he didn't go jogging because of the rain. And I told him, write that down. He goes, what? I said, write it down. So he wrote down, I didn't go jogging to keep myself fit and healthy. Do you remember that big thing? Because of the rain. And when he read it back to me, he said to me, Steve, yeah, you got a point. Yeah, of course he has. You can wear a hat. Yeah, wear like a cagoule. If you make D big enough, those excuses will shrink. But this is really, really important that you do that, okay? Next one, I identify the reality. Listen to this. What is the worst that can happen? All right? You must ask yourself that situation. When you're scared of doing something, what is the worst can happen? Now, if you're going to keel over and die, don't do it, because I don't want to take responsibility, yeah? But the reality is, it's not going to happen. That's the worst. It won't happen. So I'm going to ask you to start thinking to yourself, I'm not going to die doing this. Okay, for a couple of minutes I might feel embarrassed. Maybe for a day I might feel embarrassed, but you'll move on. This is really important because what I'm trying to do is really help you to challenge those fears. And all these things I'm sure are resonating with you because we do come up with lame excuses for not eating healthily. Oh, it's Sunday. I'll start on Monday when I eat healthy food. Shut up. Come on, start now. How many times I've heard people say, oh, I'm going to treat myself. You know, if it's not natural for you to eat that type of food and you're thinking, I want to keep the weight off, don't eat it. Don't look for those excuses because they will find you. Very important. Next one, don't overthink. This is really important. We have 50,000 thoughts a day, okay? So you can imagine overthinking is probably something that can happen quite easily. It was Winston Churchill that once said, perfectionism and procrastination are exactly the same. And people are confused, but he explained, a procrastinator will do nothing, all right? A perfectionist will try to get it perfect and not do anything until he gets it right. Did you hear my key words? Not do anything. So he's exactly the same as the procrastinator. Was that you? Like Nike says, you just got to do it. Stop the procrastinating, stop overthinking, just do it. Or don't do it. But stop this middle ground. Just make that decision and just get it done. Don't overthink, yeah? The last one is E. Now, I'm really excited about this one. It's EFT. Now, I don't know anything about this. I researched this, and I'd be really good if anyone could put some comments on if they know anything about EFT, the yoga people out there, Andrea, some of the acupuncture. EFT, I know a little bit about it. I think it's emotional freedom technique, I believe. I don't know much about it. I see a couple of comments on there. Yeah, I don't know anything about it. But all I know is that we have meridian parts of our body, okay? And when you tap them in a certain way, saying certain things, I hear someone's, yeah, thanks very much indeed. Carmela Bowens, thank you. EFT, thank you very much indeed. Look, if you can post something about it, because I don't know a lot about it, but I have heard it can make amazing differences in people's lives. There are actually academies out there, institutions, all talking about EFT. Now, I don't know, I could have kicked something off in you that you knew nothing about that you might find out about this now after this session. Please, great, do that. But I did some work on it. I thought it was amazing. I'm going to do more work on it this weekend and find out about these points in our body, because I do believe there are things around the body that we can touch into to relieve stress and relieve pain. And this could be something for yourselves. Boom! That's me. Let's do a quick recap on what I've spoken about so far. It's really talking about decide. So first of all, determine what you want to achieve. Now, if you just say, I just want to be able to speak in front of a group, that's not big enough. And the fear will probably kind of push down on that. I think you've got to make this achievement thing really big. Yeah, maybe use a visual board or something. You've got to make it big because you've got to challenge the fear. Okay, next one. Exactly what are you afraid of? You are not going to please everyone. I gave the example about me. I know there are some people that think, oh, I'm not into orange tie. Some people are. It doesn't matter because you won't please everyone. Also, the fear of success, the fear of perhaps what people might say because you become successful. Forget them. Start a new crowd of successful people. Yeah, don't worry about it. Next one. Come to the terms with the excuses you're using. Even write them down because they're quite pathetic sometimes. And you know they are. Yeah? The reason I'm so confident because I've been there. Yeah, I write down these excuses. I think, really? Next one, identify what is likely to happen. Will you die from what you're going to do? No. By standing up and making a point or questioning your boss, or, okay, yeah, you might upset them, but the reality is you're doing what is in you. Okay, this is really, really important. Next one, don't overthink. Like Nike says, just do it. Or if you don't want to, don't do it. But just make that decision. And the last one, very kindly Camilla Bowens put on there about the EFT. Find out about it. Thank you very much indeed for putting that up there. But guys, find out about EFT and just do loads of research on it. I think it's great stuff. That is me done. I've got an announcement to make. First of all, I want a big shout out for Denise Messiner and Mel Harwood, because I'm part of their module program, which I'm feeling very blessed about, called Solve, which is just an amazing program. And go to harwoodeducation.com. Let me say it again, harwoodeducation.com to find out more. I've also written a book. Hey! Because I Said So, it's called Understanding Your Teenager. Now, it was forwarded by a great friend of mine and an awesome teacher. In fact, he's an assistant head teacher of Claremont School, Paul McCann. Thank you so much for forwarding this book. I feel very blessed. Thank you very much indeed. I'll put the link about the book so you can find out a little bit more about it. But it is understanding teenagers. I've been working with teenagers for 15, 20 years. So I've got loads of tips and techniques in here, which is all great stuff. So I'm really excited about that as well. It's all about action. This is one of the things I talk a lot about whenever I'm delivering these things. I love doing them, but I want people to come back to me and say, Steve, I tried that and it worked. Or, Steve, I tried that and it didn't work. And also a big shout out to Sherry Dixon. She's doing some amazing stuff as well. She did a presentation thing with me and Paul Lawrence. Please check the videos out. Sherry, she's in Guyana. How jealous am I? Yeah, I'm in Romford. Anyway, so big up Sherry Dixon, you're doing some amazing things, and thank you for just really blessing everyone and helping everyone. So that's me done. It's so hot and I'm wearing this tie, I'm insane. But guys, it's been amazing. I really, really appreciate all the likes, all the comments. Thank you very much indeed. Amazing time with my daughter today, and I'm still got beads of sweat running around the park trying to catch my daughter. She's 7 and I couldn't catch her. I'm getting old. Anyway, that's my problem. Guys, have a great weekend. I hope all goes well. Things are challenging, and obviously you're aware, in the UK, there's things going up in the north. There looks like a second lockdown. I know it's going to be challenging for all of us, and it's really about us, yes, getting together and trying to get not just through this, but getting from this. Guys, thank you so much and have an amazing weekend. Take care. Cheers, bye.